Welcome back to the 12 Days of Christmas in July here at our little handmade home. My name is Tanya and I'm super excited to bring you my first annual 12 Days of Christmas. It is summertime, but why not get ahead of the holidays? If you missed yesterday's project, you can see the wreath in behind me here. And today we're looking at how to make some new decor with a fun little project, Scrabble tiles. So let's get started. All right, here we go with day 2. This is our Scrabble Tile Ornament. What we're going to use for this are these cute little craft Scrabble tiles. You can get these out of a game as well if you find them at a thrift store, garage sale, or something. We've got 2 types of ribbon in keeping with the sort of rustic theme. I have some check, and then I have a nice sparkly red, which we're going to layer over top of that. I have my glue gun, and I have some jingle bells. I've got some floral wire just in case we need it, and we're just going to dive right in. So the first thing I want to do is I want to line these letters up so that they're going to spell Santa on my ornament. So I'm just going to put a tiny bit of glue along the edge, and you'll notice that I'm working on a self-healing mat. This is actually sort of a non-stick mat, and the reason for that is the glue can get a little bit messy. If I'm working on a surface that it'll actually glue itself to, that's not going to work out really well. If you get a little too much glue, just use a craft stick or something to scrape it off while it's still warm. If your tiles come out of an old game that have been used very, very well, you may need to sand them down a little bit, only because over time oils from using the game can sink into the wood, and then it may not stick as well. So make sure that your tiles have a good surface that the glue will stick to. You can use craft glue for this as well, but I happen to have my glue gun here, so that's what I've chosen to use. So make sure that the glue has fully set on those. Now, the other thing you can do is you could actually glue them onto one of these craft sticks. So use some craft scissors and make sure that you cut your stick down short enough that it's not going to show at all. Gluing your letters onto a stick like this is just going to give it a little bit more stability. While the glue sets on that, we'll cut our ribbon. So you have to decide before you cut it how much of a tail you want to leave. So if you want it to just end like that, cut it up to about here because you'll want room to put a hook in there. Fold it in half and cut it about there, which is what we're going to do. Now, before you actually glue your tiles on, you'll want to make sure that you cut your point. This ribbon doesn't fray, so I'm just going to cut this one straight across. I'm going to just put a small strip of glue along here to hold the top or the 2 layers of ribbon together. Okay, and then I'm going to fold it in half. And then we're going to attach our letters. So just run a strip of glue down here. And I want a little bit of the red showing at the bottom and the top. So I'm just going to place it about there. And you can see how the red pokes out of there. Now, if you have enough letters to do it, you could do the same word on the back as well, because then it doesn't matter what direction it ends up hanging on your tree. And then fold it up to here. Fold it with the letters on. Use that as your guide. And then apply a fairly liberal amount of glue to the back side and glue the top and bottom layers together. And you've got a cute little ornament to hang on your tree. As you can see, these tiles are quite a bit smaller than the standard Scrabble tile. So we're going to do little stands with them instead of making ornaments out of them. This is going to be something that I will use on my tiered tray. So to start with, we're just going to make our words. So we're just going to put the tiniest bit of glue on the inside, and then we're just going to put our words together. Once your tiles are fully set, once the glue is set, clean up all the little strings that get left over from hot glue. And in some cases you might have a little bit of bubbling, but get it cleaned up as well as you can. And then we're going to look at how to display these. Now, if you recall last year, I made a Christmas wreath using these little mini trees, just these little guys from the dollar store. So I think we're going to make use of some of these again. Trust me, when I find something like this in the dollar store, I buy up a lot of them because I know that I'm going to keep using them. So just to make sure that I have a good sturdy base for my letters before I start piling things onto my little wood pieces, I'm going to glue it onto this popsicle stick. I think that's going to give it a sturdier base, and then if any of this glue in the middle should let go, then this popsicle stick is going to hold it all together. So I'm just going to put enough on here to hold it in place, and no more than that. And I'm going to put it pretty close to the front of it. So to create my stand for my trees, I'm going to glue 2 of these pieces of wood together, and then I'm going to attach it to the very back of this side. And then I'm going to put a little tree on there. I'm going to do something similar on this side, but I'm only going to put it 1 high and 1 tree. And then it's time to attach your words onto the base. So I think in this case, I'm going to offset them a little bit. Okay, once you have your letters glued the way you want them, arrange your base. And now we have a cute little sign to put on a tiered tray or on a mantle. You could put it just about anywhere. Thanks again for joining me for day 2 of the 12 Days of Christmas in July. I hope you enjoyed the project today, and as always, I will have links down below. And be sure to tune in tomorrow when I'm going to bring you some fun and easy decor pieces. See you then.